Hey everybody, it's Disease Warrior. How y'all doing? I'm doing pretty good. Sorry, I was checking my microphone as I think I shut it off by accident. Um, so there's been some things that have bothered me a little bit, and I talk about my experiences, or I talk about what not to do and what to do, and we've talked about this before, but this is kind of a different thing. It's not really a diagnosis type of thing. Earlier in a cochlear implant support group I belong to, which I do belong to other support groups. And somebody posted something of a hearing test thing and went, "What should I get?" Posted it, and then the writing was, "What should I get? A cochlear implant or hearing aid?" And I didn't answer it because I'm just like, my thing would have been was, "What does the doctor recommend?" And that's what you should be going on. What the doctor recommends, not what a group of people recommend that don't know you from Adam, from a hole in the wall. Okay, you should be making that decision with your doctor, not asking people. Now, I mean, if you're asking, "Hey, these are my test results. Does anybody have a cochlear implant with these test results, or does anybody have a hearing aid with these test results?" That's a good question. Because you can say, "Oh yeah, mine was like that. I got this. Yeah, mine was like that. I got that." But it's almost like you're trying to get a group of people that you don't know from a hole in the wall to tell you what to do. You can't. Because with a cochlear implant, you have to have an evaluation. You can't just walk into the doctor's office and say, "Oh, I want a cochlear implant," and they're going to say, "What do you think they're going to say?" "Okay, get on the table. We'll split you open right now." It doesn't do that. It doesn't do that. There's a lot of things that go into getting a cochlear implant. One is you have to be evaluated for it. They don't just give them to anybody. Okay? You have to literally have almost pretty much no hearing to get it. It's not something they do. Well, they do it, but insurance, they don't pay a lot. They won't pay it if you don't qualify. So you gotta kind of qualify for it. And then you got to pick out if you do qualify for the cochlear implant, now you have to pick out what you want. And that's a good question to ask in a cochlear implant group, saying, "Hey, I've been evaluated for cochlear implant. I have to pick out a brand. I don't know what to pick. Can you guys give me what's good, what's bad, what's not? Give me some information." Great question. Okay, I went with the Advanced Bionics, and I heard a lot of good things about Advanced Bionics, so I went with them. Even though I have a friend who works for Cochlear America, I still went with Advanced Bionics. So you have to pick all that. And then there's a whole bunch they got to schedule the surgery, and then 2 weeks later you get your cochlear implant and they activate it. And it's a long process. I mean, I got mine in August, September. I'm not going to count the month of August. So it's September, October, November, December, January. 5 months. And now I'm literally like, a noise is a noise now. So if I do this, that sounds like a noise. Like a thing slamming. But words are still, I can make them out, but they're not clear. So there's a lot that goes into the cochlear implant. It's really not like a hearing aid. Even though with hearing aids, they do make adjustments and this and that, just like they do with the cochlear. And that's another thing too. You got to go pick out what you want. They don't just say, "Oh, here's a bag of hearing aids. Enjoy." They pick out. I picked out the Oticon. I'm going to wait to get the one that matches my cochlear, so I can have everything on one phone. But I kind of like having two phones now, because when I can, do my TikTok, I can watch TikTok or do whatever, and I can hear it clear. The other one, I can control this and this and that. So there's a whole bunch of different things you got to do, and choices and decisions. Now, if you qualify for a cochlear implant or the hearing aid, those are good questions to ask. Like I said, I get the Advanced Bionics, and then I picked up the TV tuner on it, so I can stream TV right to my phone, right to my cochlear. I have the mic the Magic Mike or whatever they call it. Oh, the Roger Mike. I don't know why I said Magic Mike. I think there was a movie about some stripper called Magic Mike. I don't know. Someone's going to correct me. But yeah, so I got this to the Roger Mike, and I can actually hook this up to my television as well. I can actually hook this up to my computer because it has a fiber optic. So I can connect it directly to my computer, and it works perfectly. I've done it. I've streamed off my computer with it. So, get everything flipping bundled up here. Sorry. These wires. I'll do it later. Yuck. So yeah, it is. There's other things you got to pick with it too. Like I got the TV streamer, I got the Roger mic, which I can use as a TV streamer. I have used it as well as, putting it on here and setting it so if my wife and I are out to dinner and talk, then the only thing I'll hear is her voice. I won't hear everybody else. So and this is by Phonak. Is it Phonak? Yeah, Phonak. So there's a whole bunch of different things. So it's not just to walk in and get a cochlear implant and walk out the street. And they don't sell cochlear implants on Amazon. I'm sure somebody's asked that somewhere down the line. Can I get a cochlear implant on Amazon and have my doctor put it in? No. But, that's a decision you got to make with your doctor because it's a very long thing. I mean, my qualification was March, and I did not get, there it's separated, I did not get start anything with the cochlear implant until August. So it's a long, long process. It's not, go to the doctor, you go to this, get qualified, bing, bang, boom, by the end of the week you got a hearing aid, you got a cochlear implant. So my advice to people who are looking into that stuff of a cochlear implant and stuff like that, talk it over with your doctor. Don't make posts on Facebook asking what you should do. Talk to your doctor because nobody in Facebook can put a cochlear implant in for you. And none of these people that are in the support groups, they're not doctors, they're not MDs. Okay? If they say they're a doctor, make sure it says MD behind it. Because in the group I run, we had somebody and they said they were a doctor, they were a Vita ambassador, and all this stuff. Come to find out, yeah, they're a doctor, but they're a PhD in audiology. Which audiology, doesn't mean they're stupid, doesn't mean they don't know what they're doing. It just means it's like, I'm not going to trust somebody who just does hearing tests all day. Okay. And one other thing, too, is when you do these things, like this person did when they showed their test results and said, what should I do, a hearing aid or cochlear implant? Okay. I mean, what are you, taking a poll? One side says cochlear implant, the other says hearing aid, and checking off who says what, and then adding up the numbers and then go to the doctor. Okay, everybody in my group says I should get a cochlear implant, so this is what I want, a cochlear implant. See, look what I did. Doctor's going to go, yeah, I'll make that decision of whether you qualify or not. And because it's an extensive surgery, you're still screwing around with nerves. Yeah, it's another thing I don't think people kind of really understand is when you get a cochlear implant, they're tapping into the nerve. Okay, they don't just tap into the cochlear and all of a sudden the cochlear comes alive. It tap into the acoustic nerve. It can still be dangerous. It can still be tricky. You can still get facial paralysis. You can walk around like this the rest of your life. So it's not something, you got to really take it seriously. And I'm not saying, by posting that or whatever is being serious. But the problem is that you're letting people make a decision for you instead of doing what you really should be doing is going to the doctor. Okay, talking with the doctor. Because see, when I got these recommendations, I didn't ask people. Okay, and I kind of felt bad with the hearing aid because my friend Gina has always been a good person for me to bounce things off of. I didn't. I just did the research on how it could help me. Can I hear things better, clearer? Can I do all these things And then I talked to the doctors. Well, what kind? And the first thing they said to me is, "What do you have for phone?" And I'm like, "Well, I have an iPhone." And they're like, "Then you don't want to get this one because it won't work with iPhone. Get the Autocon because they work with iPhone, but much better. They're made for icon. They're made for hearing aids." And that's another thing you look out for. If you got an iPhone, you better make sure that the hearing aid says MFI on it, made for iPhones. Because if it doesn't, it'll work, but might not work the way you want it to. So, on that note, guys, continue to do what your doctors tell you to do. Stop trying to think that somebody on Facebook is going to make a decision for you or tell you or diagnose you. It's really, you don't want to do that. It can be very, very dangerous, even with the hearing aids and stuff like that. Okay? Like when I got this turned on and I was fishing in the fall, I would take this off and put my cross hearing aid in because literally I didn't want this falling in the water. If I fall in the water, this goes in with me, I'm screwed. I'd rather have my hearing aids go in with me because I can always get them fixed. I can get it fixed, but it might cost me a few bucks. So, I'm very careful with this, even though I can't get the damn magnet off. There we go. So, yeah, just, be careful. Make the decisions with your doctor and ask good questions. Don't ask, what should I do? Ask questions. I had all these tests. I do qualify for cochlear implant. Cochlear implant. What's a good brand? What do you suggest? That's a fair question. Showing up a report saying, what should I get? That's not, you're dependent, thousands of people in a group, maybe 100, 200 people are going to answer it, and you're going to get all kinds of answers from people who say, the cochlear implants suck, get hearing aids, or hearing aids suck, get the cochlear implant. And they don't know you. So on that note, have a great night, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.